Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprises Development announces details of Entrepreneurship Award. The Municipal Council in the Governorate of Dhofar discusses modernization of infrastructure to increase the number of tourists during the Kharif season. And Palestinians and Israeli negotiators in Cairo resume indirect talks. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in details. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has issued 5 royal decrees. Royal Decree number 44/2014, lifting public benefit status of some schemes located within Duqm Special Economic Zone. Article 1 lifts public benefit status of schemes located within Duqm Special Economic Zone, which determined in the attached memorandum. Article 2 amends location and borders of Duqm Special Economic Zone according to the attached schematic diagram. Article 3 cancels all that contradicts with this decree or contravenes with its provisions. Article 4, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the next day of its issue. Royal Decree number 45/2014, transferring the speciality of registration and technical licenses to the Minister of Information. Article 1, the Minister of Information undertakes the speciality of registration and technical licenses from the Ministry of Heritage and Culture. Article 2, the employees specialized in the registration and technical licenses shall be transferred from the Minister of Heritage and Culture to the Minister of Information with their same grades, and registers concerning registrations and technical licenses shall also be transferred to the Ministry of Information. Article 3, the Minister of Heritage and Culture and the Minister of Information shall issue the necessary decisions to implement this decree. Article 4 cancels all that contradicts with this decree or contravenes with its provisions. Article 5, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect after 30 days of the date of issue. Royal Decree number 46/2014, ratifying the amendment Unified Agreement to invest Arab capitals in Arab countries. Article 1 ratifies the mentioned amendment Unified Agreement to invest Arab capitals in Arab countries according to the attached text. Article 2, the bodies concerned shall file the ratification document on amending the mentioned agreement according to its provisions. Article 3, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 47/2014, ratifying the agreement between the Sultanate of Oman and the Kingdom of Spain to avoid double taxation and prevent tax evasion on income. Article 1 ratifies the agreement mentions according to the attached text. Article 2, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 48/2014, ratifying the agreement between the Sultanate of Oman and the Republic of Bulgaria on encouragement and mutual protection of investment. Article 1 ratifies the above-mentioned agreement according to the attached text. Article 2, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cabal of greetings to His Excellency President Hanus Ander of Hungary on the occasion of his country's National Day. The Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprises Development has stressed that the last date for registration in Entrepreneurship Award is 25th of September. This came during the introductory workshop for Entrepreneurship Award in Muscat. It aimed to enhance the role of institutions in providing job opportunities for the youth and encourage them to establish their projects. The workshop included a visual presentation on rules of Entrepreneurship Award as well as mechanisms of registration in addition to evaluation standards. It also witnessed discussions from the attendees on various aspects of entrepreneurship. The Municipal Council in the Governorate of Dhofar discussed during its extraordinary meeting the importance to modernize the infrastructure to increase the number of tourists during the Kharif season. It also discussed the activation of governmental institutions' role in controlling violations and wrong practices at Kharif season, in addition to adopt short plans to handle traffic jam. The Municipal Council also demanded the Supreme Council for Planning to assign an international house of expertise to fulfill plan to develop touristic and services establishments in the governorate. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Sheikh Amir bin Salim Khajoub, Deputy Chairman of the Municipal Council in the governorate of Dhofar. The third seminar of family cohesion was inaugurated under the title of Family Protection in International Experience. It aimed to study and treat family issues in addition to its self-fortification in solving problems and protect it from dangers and negative aspects. It discussed a number of work papers, namely the Sultanate Experience in Family Protection and Enabling Full Family, in addition to view a number of international experiences. The seminar, organized by the Ministry of Social Development in cooperation with the Executive Office of Social Affairs Ministers' Council of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries. It was presided over by His Excellency Sayyid Mohammed bin Sultan Al Busaidi, Minister of State and Governor of Dhofar. Lieutenant General Ahmed bin Harith al-Nabhani, Chief of Staff of Sultan's Armed Forces, received a written message from the Secretary General of the Ministry of Defense in the Kingdom of Spain, inviting him to participate in the National Defense course of the Higher Studies Center in the Kingdom of Spain. The invitation was handed over by Juan José Utrazum, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Spain to the Sultanate, when Lieutenant General Chief of Staff of the Sultan's Armed Forces received him in his office at Muaskar al-Murtafa today. The meeting reviewed the good relations between the two friendly countries. Central Bank of Oman CBO called to the importance of banking deposit insurance to support financial stability and boost the confidence of the audience in financial systems. Insurance processes are represented in covering risks of the banking sector and protecting deposits in case one of the banks has not been able to commit to its responsibilities. CBO said that it rendered an initial contribution of 5 million Omani Riyals as a capital to the insurance project, in addition to contributions of other member banks by the same value. Muscat Securities Market MSM General Index today lost 11.3 points, comprising a decline by 0.1% to close to 7,320 points. The trading value today stood at 7.6 million Omani Riyals, comprising a decline by 17.4%. compared to the last session, which stood at 9.2 million Omani Riyals. The report released by MSM pointed out that the market value rose by 0.02% to reach about 15.4 billion Omani Riyals. The report added that the value of shares bought by non-Omani investors reached 2.1 million Omani Riyals, comprising 28.5%. The value of shares sold by non-Omani investors reached 2.5 million Omani Riyals, comprising 33.3%. The Administration of Awqaf and Religious Affairs in the Governorate of Musandam held a ceremony to honor the winners in the Holy Quran competition adopted by the School of Holy Quran Memorization in Sharjah in the Wilaya of Khasab, aiming to educate the generation with the teachings, memorization and recitation of the Holy Quran. At the end, the chief guest, His Excellency Sheikh Musallam bin Saeed Al Mahrouqi, Wali of Khasab, distributed certificates and awards to the winners in the competitions, in which 169 people took part. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and still to come in our news bulletin. Iraqi and Kurdish fighters have regained control of the strategic hydroelectric dam in Mosul with the help of the U.S. airstrikes.
من هنا تبدأ أسطر الحكاية. تقاليدها راسخة كالجبال. وصلتها مضرب مثل في كل مكان. بساطتها ليس لها مثيل، لا حدود لكرمها. حاضرها مشرق متجدد. مهرجان الصلالة السياحي 2014 من 30 من يوليو إلى 6 من سبتمبر.
Welcome back to the news from the Southern of Oman television. Palestinian and Israeli negotiators in Cairo resumed indirect talks today, trying to hammer out a roadmap for the war-torn Gaza Strip after Egypt announced yesterday a 24-hour extension of the ceasefire to allow more time for negotiations. The Egyptian government announcement came just minutes before a temporary truce was set to expire at midnight, averting a resumption of the fighting that has caused devastating damage across Gaza and disrupted life throughout southern Israel. Hamas is demanding an end to a seven-year Israeli-Egyptian blockade of Gaza that has devastated the local economy. Israel wants guarantees that Hamas, which fired thousands of rockets into Israel during the fighting, will be disarmed. Unless negotiations to end the Gaza war succeed in lifting a blockade of the territory, Gazans will not see any improvement in their lives. The head of United Nations Relief Agency said. Pierre Harhembouhel, the head of the United Nations Relief and Works Agency UNRWA, said in an interview that the length of time it takes to get building materials, construction equipment and other goods across the Israeli and Egyptian borders into the territory could take many years. UNRWA's first priority was taking care of the displaced, with an estimated 425,000 of Gaza's 1.8 million people without home and in need of shelter and other aid, as well as to provide emergency assistance. Kurdish Peshmerga's forces, who recaptured two towns from Islamic State's IS militants in northern Iraq last week, said that the area is under their full control. IS militants captured the predominantly Kurdish towns in Bilt's attacks earlier this month, but 3 days later, Peshmerga's forces, backed by U.S. airstrikes, recaptured Mahmour and Guwair. Iraqi and Kurdish fighters said they had regained control of the strategic hydroelectric dam in Mosul with the help of U.S. airstrikes. Meanwhile, 6 civilians killed and 7 others wounded, including children and women, as a result of incessant shelling, which targeted today a number of residential neighborhoods in Fallujah, the largest city in Anbar province in western Iraq. Now for the general weather forecast. Cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Governorate of the Far and nearby mountains, with chances of intermittent drizzle, occasionally accompanied by thunder showers, rain. Rest of the southern will have clear to partly cloudy skies with chances of rain accompanied by hail over parts of the Hajar Mountains. Winds will be southerly to southwesterly, moderate to active along the coast of Arabian Sea, while it will be southeasterly light to moderate in the rest of the Sultanate. Seas along the coastal areas of the Arabian Sea will be rough, with a maximum wave height of 4 meters. Along the rest of the coast, it will be slight, with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and now before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos issues 5 royal decrees. The Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprises Development announces details of Entrepreneurship Award. Municipal Council in the Governorate of Dhofar discusses modernization of infrastructure to increase the number of tourists during the Kharif season. And Palestinian and Israeli negotiators in Cairo resume indirect talks. With that, we come to an end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.